السلام عليكم، أنا نصر الخالدي ومعاي دارن ويلنز تكنيكال سيرفيس من امزويل. اليوم بنتناقش عن زيوت المحركات وإيش المشاكل التقنية اللي حتكون جوا، وهل فعلا في زيوت تمشي إلى 40,000 كيلو أو لا. حنناقش هذه المشاكل التقنية ومواصفات زيوت المحركات معها الآن باللغة الإنجليزية، فحتكون مترجمة عندكم. Welcome Mr. Darren to see you here. And I'm very happy to make this meeting with you to discuss some technical issue and what's the benefit to use the high performance lubricant like Oil Signature. So I want to ask you about what's the benefit if I'm using the lubricant with low viscosity, like what manufacturer told us about it, like 0W20, 0W60 or 0W8.
The newer cars, a lot of them, besides being direct injection or turbocharged, many of them use variable valve timing, and they rely on the oil pressure that's provided by the engine oil in order to have the right timing.
Yeah.
And if you start using the incorrect oils in those engines, it's hard for that engine to maintain the right amount of timing. Plus, all of those oil galleries in that engine are very small, and the tolerances are tight.
Like a clearance, right?
Yes. So if you put too heavy of an oil in there, it takes too long, and it's too hard for that oil to go through the engine and provide the right amount of lubrication.
You know what they say in our market, especially some technical engineer, they say use the high viscosity like 20W50 to bring a bigger protection for your engine. Isn't that correct?
That's an old fallacy.
Yeah.
It used to be in old days, everybody thought that thicker equated to better.
Yeah.
You had to have thick oil to have enough oil pressure and all this. In today's world, that is not necessary. That is not a problem. Today's modern oils are developed to be extremely stable across wide temperature ranges. They're designed to be 2 or 3 times more thermally stable than conventional oils ever were, and they do not break down from the heat.
Okay.
So by having oils that are built that solid, that significant in performance, there's no issues.
So I'm using Oil Signature for over than 8 years, and I'm using it for a long term, like 20,000 up to 40,000 kilometers. Sometimes I'm changing the lubricant because the hours is finished, like 700 hours.
Yes.
I'm making the testing result as they're showing now. What do you think about the testing result as I'm showing?
I looked over that oil analysis. I was very impressed.
Especially in our region in Saudi Arabia.
The extreme heat, the severe driving conditions, all the environmental areas that you're driving under are very severe. And that oil still had a lot of service life.
Especially total base number over than 4. What do you think about it?
That is extremely good.
Yeah.
When we do oil analysis on used engine oils, typically if the TBN is above 2, that means that oil is still suitable for continued use. Generally, oils that are built for just the factory manufacturer's intervals generally don't have total base numbers that are very high to begin with. There may be 6,
maybe less,
sometimes
oil,
a little less. And you said how many miles were on that?
30,000 kilometers.
30,000
it's around
kilometers.
21 or 21,000.
Yeah, so to have a TBN that's still above 4 is extremely good.
Yeah.
And it's something that we feel proud of too.
Especially in my engine, having a new technology like gasoline direct injection, GDI and turbocharge.
That's very severe.
Yeah, getting these numbers, which mean very good.
Yes. Yeah, some of the main issues that we see with a lot of oils is that the GDI engines, they're very prone to almost pre-ignition.
Yeah.
They generate a lot more heat.
Which means LSPI, low speed pre-ignition.
Low speed pre-ignition. They're very sensitive to every operating condition because they're running on the very edge.
Yeah, because the torque we get in it between 1,800 RPM up to 2,400 RPM, right?
Yes.
Which means a lot of pressure in the piston.
Yes.
Which
and-
means we need a high performance lubricant to solve the low speed preignition.
Yep. And the Amsoil products are designed, especially the Signature series, to be
Yeah.
very resistant to low speed pre-ignition. In fact, when we did the testing to meet the API SN Plus and API SP
Yeah.
specifications with that oil, they measure like the number of incidences of low speed pre-ignition on the engine testing.
Wow.
We had 0 incidences.
Wow.
And
This-
then we also evaluated for piston deposits
Yeah.
and sludge and varnish cleanliness. We were absolutely, it looked like brand new parts.
Yeah, actually, after 150,000 kilometers, when I open the head of the engine, it's very clean, like a new.
Exactly.
There is no sludge, no deposit at all, which means the cleaning of Signature series is very perfect.
Exactly. And that also showed up in the used analysis.
Yeah.
If you look at the viscosity of your used oil, it was still literally within the same range of that oil when it was brand new.
Yeah.
Most oils would be subjected to that heat and all those severe conditions. They would want to thicken, and generally the viscosity would go up, which also equates to sludge and varnish forming in the oil.
Yeah.
Or the opposite can happen with a GDI engine. You can get a lot of fuel dilution.
Yeah.
And if you get fuel dilution and those severe conditions, the oil will shear down and fall out of grade.
Yeah.
In this case, it stayed exactly where it was supposed to.
It's perfect. Also, the new model of cars and the new technology with hybrid engine, we're seeing the manufacturer recommend us using the 0W16 as in 0W8. Is that correct to use it? Is it will give us a protection?
It's an option.
Yeah.
What the manufacturer does is they have to have a backup plan in case you can't find
Yeah.
the correct oil. So what they do say is if you do not have a 0W8 available,
Yeah.
you can use a 0W16. But they also tell you to change the oil to a 0W8 as soon as it is available.
But some of them they say use the 10W30 or 20W or 10W40.
Those are extremes.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that an engine is going to perform very well when you put something that heavy in there.
Yeah.
The other advantage, like we talked about, was heat transfer.
Yeah.
Lighter viscosity oils transfer heat so much more efficiently because they are
Which means
turbulent.
give us a better performance for the cooling.
Better cooling
Wow.
and fuel efficiency, so that you get a kind of a trifecta of all the advantages.
But they say it's like a water.
It is
It's
water.
not like, it's not like a lubricant.
Yep, but the engines have the ability to provide the adequate pressure.
Yeah.
Whether it's water thin or thick, it provides the adequate amount of
the
pressure.
performance now is better than 20W50, right?
Yes.
Especially in 0W8 or 0W16.
One thing is going to transfer, it's going to scatter that heat. It's
Wow.
going to be turbulent. It's going to
Yeah.
release the heat. If you put something thick in,
Yeah.
it takes that heat in and it doesn't release it. So
Yeah.
things just run hot.
Yeah. Are you guys hear it? Which means it will transfer the heat inside the engine. No need to use it a high viscosity. As he say, he's an expert in lubricant. So when we use it, like 0W8, as recommended from the manufacturer when I'm recorded, like Toyota New Camry, New Crown, all of them, they told us in the user manual, you have to use 0W8.
Yeah.
Yeah, which means you have to use it, guys. Also, in Toyota Supra, the new model, the manufacturer recommend us, for example, we use it ACEA C5. Why manufacturer told us to use this specification?
Probably for compatibility with the multi-tiered emissions.
Yeah.
Low emissions. The oils that meet those specifications
Yeah.
generally are low ash formulations. They don't like to form deposits.
Yeah.
They don't have any negative effect on catalytic converters.
which means it's have a three-way catalytic converter, right?
Yep, multi-tiered catalyticers are very sensitive.
Which means the smoke from the oil, if we're not using the right specification, it will block it, right?
Yes,
For a long term.
yes. If you have oil recirculating and any of it gets burned,
Yeah.
the components that come out of the oil get into the catalytic converter, and then they start to deteriorate it and shorten the life of it. So the lower the ash and the correct amounts
Yeah.
of those chemistries equate to longer emissions.
Okay. So if we don't find a C5, we can use C2 or C3, right?
Those are generally acceptable.
But we have to not use A3B4 or A5B5.
Yeah, those are older standards. Those oils would have higher levels of ash
Yeah.
containing additives, and their high levels cause problems with the emissions. They'll reduce the life of a catalytic converter.
Yeah, I'm very happy actually to be with you to make this meeting. I'm waiting this moment to make this meeting for over than 8 years.
Oh, wow.
So thank you very much to
You're
give me the
welcome.
correct answer to bring it to the people here in our market and our people in GCC. Thank you guys to showing this video. If you having any answer, please write it in the comment down, and thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.